Hi everybody, I'm David. Welcome to my channel, My Yard Sale. Hey, today I want to talk about my current difficulties. I want to talk about a couple of things that maybe I talked about last week. I want to give some more information on what I talked about last week, and I want to do a basic update on my health and just general living around where I live. So I live in New York. I live in upstate New York, and I'm just going to say this year has been, well, I guess last year was pretty cold, but this year has been the coldest ever. And it's finally starting to get a little bit warmer. And I'm happy to say that it's sunny a little bit later, so I can get up and I can enjoy the sunshine a little bit. That's my window right there. So it makes life a little bit easier when it's cold, even though it is still cold at night. Today I'm going to talk about I'm 50 plus, I'm over 50, under 60, but 50 plus, and I'm trying to repair my metabolic health. I thought that I was dealing with insulin resistance, but thanks to one of my subscribers, thanks Magnus Dens, I'm I think I'm realizing it's not insulin resistance that I was dealing with. I think maybe at some point it probably was, but I don't know because I never really gained any weight. And I did read your note, and I didn't know that I agreed with it when I read it, but the more research that I've done, the more I'm realizing that yes, in fact, insulin resistance does actually cause people to gain weight and get bigger. Whereas, I mean, you can see from my neck. I mean, I'm thin. I've always been thin, and I do think that I was probably insulin resistant at one time, but I don't know. The more I'm researching, I call it researching, but what it is I go on YouTube and I look at I look up stuff on Google, and I think that maybe I was insulin resistant at one point, but I think what I'm dealing with more is just my metabolic health is just wrecked. And I talked about this before in a post a long time ago, skinny diabetes, and I don't know exactly how that works. If any of you guys know anything about that, do me a favor and leave it below, because I'm not exactly sure how long-term diabetes actually causes you to lose weight, and you can lose a lot of weight. And I guess the other thing that I'm reading is that type 1 diabetes could be maybe more of an explanation of what that I'm experiencing. So now there's a little bit more of a urgency to me for me to get to see a doctor and try to figure out what's going on with me, because I'm feeling like my metabolic health, I mean, even though everything that I've seen and read says that long-term diabetes too can cause what I'm experiencing, but diabetes 1 can also cause what I'm experiencing, and that's a little bit more serious, I think. So so thanks for the post and kind of opening my eyes to exactly what insulin resistance looks like, and what it probably what it would be like. So it's possible that I did gain some weight at one point, but I don't really remember it. Um, when I would have gained weight, I would have thought it was because I was drinking so much beer. Because throughout my life, I have gone through different cycles where I have actually drank quite a bit of alcohol, and I think alcohol definitely makes people gain a lot of weight. Um, so that could have been a time when I was actually more insulin resistant, And what I might be experiencing now is the longer leg of not necessarily insulin resistance, but actual diabetes. Even though I don't think I'm diabetic now, I'm not eating enough sugar. I don't eat much sugar. I mean, I do eat sugar, but I don't eat as much sugar as I used to. It's much more measured, and I don't eat as many carbs as I guess I used to. I ate a lot of ground turkey at this point, which I'll talk about more in a little bit. But ever since I was 18 years old, I've always been skinny, and I guess I'm tall. I mean, I'm 6 foot. I don't know if that's tall, but I've always been in between 118 and 120 pounds. So being thin is not unusual for me. I don't ever remember gaining weight more than 118, 120 pounds. So for me to get to 180 pounds many years ago now, but for me to get to 180 pounds, I don't know, it might have just been that I was metabolically messed up even then, but I might have just drank myself to be able to weigh much more. And of course, I haven't. Well, not of course, but I haven't had alcohol in, I don't know, 5, 6, maybe even 8 years. Well, definitely 6 years or more. So I'm not getting that same alcohol weight that I used to get. Any weight that I would have gained in the last even 5 years would have been just sugar and metabolic weight and trying to eat, healthy. But I just wanted to clarify what I said last week, that when I weighed 880 pounds, I was pretty healthy, I think, but I know that I was eating probably not the most healthy, and I was drinking a lot of beer. So it's possible that I didn't gain 180 pounds of healthy weight. That could have just been forced weight because of my even horrible diet then, which I talked about how me drinking so much alcohol back then and having the B1 depleted out of my system. I'm reading a lot about how that can actually cause diabetic issues and diabetes issues. But I just wanted to say that because the information that I read from my last week post about insulin resistance actually opened my eyes a lot, and I think that I may not actually be dealing with insulin resistance. I think it's just longer term diabetic problems and issues. But I don't know. I feel like I'm getting on the better side of that, even though some days are much harder than others. I guess like everybody in life. But for me, physically, with my health, some days are much harder, and I guess it can be. It is directly associated with what I eat. If I eat a bunch of sugar or carbs, but most recently it's mostly salt. I think in the last, I don't know, 3 years even, if I ate a lot of salt, it caused real physical problems for me. And I talked about it in posts that I've done in the last, I don't know, couple of months. At one point, I was eating a lot of hot dogs and luncheon meat. I was eating a lot of bologna, and I know that bologna and hot dogs aren't healthy. I think everybody knows that, but it is meat. It's carnivore, and I was pretty comfortable leaning heavy on bologna and hot dogs. And I think that the sodium in that, and it could be the other ingredients that are not great. I mean, obviously there's nitrites and stuff like that that's not good, but I think the sodium definitely wrecked my metabolism and made it actually so that it was difficult for me to even walk. Somehow, high blood pressure has negatively worked with my metabolism, and I'm going to start calling it my metabolism instead of not high blood pressure. I think that the sodium affected my blood pressure and just gave me high blood pressure when I ate things that were very sodium, well, they had a lot of sodium, and it made it really difficult for me to even get around my house. But I'm going to start calling it metabolism instead of keep leaning on insulin resistance, because I don't think I'm insulin resistant. I think I'm very sodium sensitive, and I'm trying to be a little bit more careful of what I'm eating and not eating so much garbage. And I didn't actually think that I was eating a lot of garbage. I was eating a lot of hot dogs and bologna. And I did sprinkle in a little bit of sugar here and there, but mostly it was the salt. And even now, if I eat something that's really salty, like a tuna packet or something that has a lot of salt, it makes things difficult for me, I'll just say. It makes it so just getting around is a little bit more difficult. So currently my diet, I feel like I'm eating really good, and I'm waiting now to see if it catches up and makes me feel a lot better. I'm eating a lot of ground turkey. I can't eat deli turkey anymore because there's so much salt in that stuff. I never realized how much salt is in some of these things that I eat, like ham and deli turkey. I don't I don't want to say that it's unhealthy, but because I actually love deli meat, but for me, there's so much salt in those things that stuff definitely made my metabolism not well. And again, there's something wrong with my metabolism, and I don't know exactly what it could be. I'm still trying to figure it out. So if you have any thoughts, or just if you know anything about metabolism and sodium, high blood pressure, and how it affects longer term diabetes, do me a favor and leave it below. I'm interested to hear what you want to say about that. But so currently I'm eating probably a half pound to 3/4 of a pound of ground turkey every day, which I think the way I cook it, most people would hate it. I don't think people would enjoy it. But I take a chunk of ground turkey, I put it in the microwave, and I microwave it for like 5 minutes. And the fat in the turkey, the ground turkey, like cooks off the turkey, and it actually kind of like fries the ground turkey in the microwave. It doesn't fry it crispy like a you know a on a fried skillet, but it definitely doesn't get it. It gets a little bit firmer, and I actually like it. And there's a lot of fat that I use, and in that ground turkey and fat, I cook and it's not much. It's just a little bit on the bottom of on the bottom of the dish. But in that, I cook a potato or a sweet potato, and I usually do that either very early in the morning, or sometimes I'll do that the night before. So anybody who's trying to meal prep, you could actually make this a couple days in advance. And so I make it the night before. I take a chunk of ground turkey burger, and I take a sweet potato or a potato. I put it in a container. I put it in the microwave for 5 minutes, sometimes 6 minutes, depending on how big the sweet potato is. And I heat it up, and it cooks my turkey, which is good. So I heat it for 5 or 6 minutes, and then I either leave it in the microwave, or I take it out of the microwave and put it on the container on the counter or in the refrigerator, and I just leave it for, I don't know, 6 or 8 hours probably, which I get about resistance. The what is that called? When you get the well, when you take a potato and you cool it, you get, what is it, starch resistance, or I can't remember what it's called, but it makes it so that it's maybe a little bit more metabolically healthy for your system. So I do leave my potato in the microwave, or I put it in the refrigerator for probably half a day, close to a day sometimes, and and I let it, I let it sit. And then I'll put it back in the microwave for another minute before I eat it, and I actually like it. And I bought this. Where did I leave it? I put this stuff on it. This is not an ad, but I bought this stuff. I don't know if you can see this. I bought. This is instead of just using salt, I use this stuff. This is Badia. Let's see if I can turn this. I don't know why I'm having a hard time getting this thing. This is Badia Complete Seasoning, and it has salt. I think there's cumin in it. It almost tastes like there's gram masala in there, but I put that in with the fat in the turkey, and there's some salt in there too. It's just not that much salt. I put that in with my turkey and my potato, and I just got to say, I really like it. I enjoy it. It tastes really good, and it's healthy. It's ground turkey. It's low fat. I did Chat GBT, and they somehow that app can look up all the details on the food that I eat, and they give me a pretty good report of what the health aspects are of what I'm eating. And the turkey that I'm eating is very low fat from Walmart, and I eat the turkey, the potato, and the fat over a period of time, and that's mostly what I'm eating. Is I'm eating that ground turkey, a potato, and or a sweet potato, and I eat the fat. Sometimes I have some kiwis. I like to eat a kiwi occasionally, which I'm trying not to eat too much fruit. Not that I'm afraid of fructose, but I'm just trying to be much more careful of what I'm eating. So that's mainly my diet, is some ground turkey, potato, sweet potato, and occasionally a kiwi, which I really enjoy those kiwis. I have eaten some granola bars. I was eating some granola bars for a bit, but I'm not really eating those now. And but I have to say that I did enjoy those granola bars greatly. They're again from Walmart, and they have this sweet, like, it's not there wasn't that much sugar in them, or added sugar I should say, but there was enough sugar that they were very sweet, and they were delicious. And I luckily had enough self-control that I didn't eat the whole box in like a day or 2 days, but they were delicious, and I was eating those with my meals. Now, the other thing that I ate in the last, I don't know, 10 days or so, that I feel like did negatively impact me, and since I stopped eating it, it's gotten, maybe my health is feeling a little bit better. But I ate this peanut butter, and I love peanut butter. I'm just gonna say that. And yeah, peanut butter has a little bit of sugar, but it has fat, and there's other healthy things to it. But this peanut butter I bought from Walmart, like the every day that I was eating it, which I gotta be honest, it was 4 pounds of peanut butter, and I ate a lot of peanut butter in a very short amount of time. I think it was a lot of peanut butter for a very short amount of time. But I was enjoying peanut butter regularly. I was having several tortillas with peanut butter and maybe some jam sometimes. But I was eating a lot of peanut butter. And I do remember when I was eating peanut butter before, which I haven't eaten natural peanut butter without all the added garbage that's in it, all the seed oils and sugar and all that stuff. I haven't eaten natural peanut butter before, which I am gonna try. But well, I ate a lot of peanut butter, and it definitely negatively impacted me. and I had to stop eating it. Well, I had to stop eating it mostly because I ate it all. It's funny because I buy peanut butter because I need it to bait mouse traps, which where I live, I mean, I live in the middle of the woods, not really in the middle of the woods, but I feel like I live in the middle of the woods and I have a lot of mice in my house. It's an old house and I have to have mouse traps all the time and I have to have stuff to bait them. So I always give myself the excuse, oh, I need more mice bait, mouse bait, and then I eat the whole jar. So I bought this big jar of peanut butter and I polished it like it was 4 pounds of peanut butter. And it wasn't, there was nothing like blaringly disturbing of what was in the ingredients, but the seed oils and I don't know, there wasn't that much salt because I'm pretty focused on not eating a lot of sodium. Now that I finally got most of the sodium out of my system, I'm actually starting to feel a little bit better. So I'm trying to not eat much sodium. And the peanut butter that I bought, it wasn't great. Obviously, it was Walmart peanut butter. So it's going to have some garbage in it that they don't care about, whether their customers live or die. They just have it made, or Jif or whoever makes Walmart peanut butter. So the peanut butter looked halfway decent, but I don't know, something in there definitely affected my metabolism and made life pretty difficult for me for a couple of days. But now I'm on the other side of eating that and starting to feel a little bit better. I think eventually I got to try cooking some lentils in the microwave. That's one of the things I want to try cooking in the next couple of weeks. We'll see. Supposedly you can cook lentils pretty easily in the microwave, and I want to try that. So I've been watching, obviously, a lot of YouTube videos, and I saw this video where they talk about how when your nerves start healing, it can cause swelling in the areas where there's healing, which I feel like that that swelling could be what I'm experiencing. Like I'm feeling like I'm having swelling in my large muscle areas, like my biceps, my thighs, and in my calves. I feel like there's a lot of swelling and it's causing just not my joints to be completely stiff, but it's making my joints very difficult, I'll just say. And that's in my hands and my elbows, my knees, and maybe in my legs. Not really, but definitely in my calves and my thighs. So I watched this video and they talked about how healing nerves can cause swelling. And I got onto ChatGPT and it said the same thing. Or it kind of agreed, but then it elaborated on why that happens. And it kind of feels like it could explain why I'm having some of the difficulties that I'm having physically. I mean, I don't know. Of course, I would love to get to a doctor and get it figured out. But unfortunately, right now, it's just not possible for me. So that's one of the things that I learned this week, or that I at least watched. Whether it's true or not, I'm not sure. But that inflammation and swelling in my joints could be caused from possibly healing of the nerves in my system, which that would be great news actually, because it would actually start getting easier and better, which I'll report on that and let everybody know in the next week to 2 weeks, because it should be a couple of weeks that things should start working out a little bit better. So I watch a lot of TikTok and I watch a lot of YouTube, and I used to watch a lot of YouTube last year, and somehow I started watching this guy that ended up, well, not this one guy, but a lot of guys that end up camping out in the freezing cold in these tents with wood stoves and stuff like that. And I thought that's what I wanted to do. I thought that was something I would do for YouTube, because those guys, they do it on YouTube, and I don't know, it looks kind of fun. But then winter came and I said, oh, hell no. I'm not camping out in the cold. So I kind of put that on hold, or decided not to do that. I'm not going to be camping out in the snow or in the garbage weather. I don't even want to go outside now when it's 50 degrees outside. But I started watching these videos, and I didn't specifically look at them now. But somehow they got served up to me of people base jumping, and they're in Moab jumping off cliffs with base jump parachutes. And I thought, well, that looks like something that I would like to get over the physical hurdles that I'm doing, and I'd like to go and do that. And then, I watched just in the last couple of days that somebody did it out in Moab, and I guess they jumped and they died. So I'm taking that off my list. I'm not base jumping. I'm not doing that big swing thing in between the rocks, in between the, I don't know if it's, I don't even know what you call it. It's like a thing where they put a a springy cord on your chest, and you jump off a huge cliff, and the thing, you swing through the valley. And I'm not doing that. I thought that I wanted to do base jumping. I've fallen out of the air in a broken helicopter before, but I never really thought about jumping off of a cliff before. And I thought, watching these things out in Moab, that I would actually like to try that. And I've decided now that's off my list. That's like deciding to go long-term swimming in shark-infested waters. I don't want to do that. But it was just funny because I was watching all these videos about these people base jumping, and then, I don't know, the last couple of days, I think somebody jumped in Moab and something happened, and they died. I don't know if it was one guy or two guys, or, I don't know if they were attached to each other, or I don't know exactly what happened, but not interested. I'm watching a lot of these. So the other thing with the base jumping is I'm seeing a lot of wingsuit videos, and it's interesting because there's a lot of those wingsuit guys. There's not very many old wingsuit guys. There's a lot of younger wingsuit guys because it looks pretty exciting and fun, and it probably is pretty amazing when you do it. But you don't see a lot of old guys that are wingsuit guys. I think because they all end up crashing into rocks, or slamming into rocks when they're flying through these canyons. I don't know. I can't even watch those anymore because I see these people doing this crazy stuff, and I think, oh, this guy's got his days numbered. So I'm trying to not watch videos that scare me anymore, like wingsuits and just the base jumping things that people, I haven't seen any bad base jumping videos, but the wingsuit videos, those things look terrifying. And then somehow I got served up these videos where people go cave diving, and they get stuck in caves, and that would be like my worst nightmare. I can't even imagine getting stuck in a cave and not being able to get out, and then running out of air. That would be a nightmare. When I was in the Navy, I went through a school that it's called SEER School, Search, Evasion, Escape School, SEER School. And part of that school was doing prisoner of war camp training, and they don't hurt you, but they try to make you feel like what it would feel like if you were a prisoner for somebody. And at one point, the group I was in, we got put into these like really tiny little boxes that were closed up, and they put you in there for, I don't know, a long time, for a couple of hours at least. And I just remember being in there, and you can't really move. You're locked into this box. And I think about these people that go cave diving and get stuck in like what I felt like was a little tiny box. I just can't imagine that being the end of what you know. Like, that's kind of terrifying to me. So yeah, my health has been really on and off. I mean, I'm eating healthy. I'm eating much healthier. Don't get me wrong. I'm craving sugar. I'm sure it's just my body that I know my body probably realizes that it's much easier to use sugar than try to convert fat or convert muscle to energy. So I'm sure that my body's like saying, "Let's get some sugar." But I am trying to eat better, and I still am thinking about Pop Tarts and not candy. I don't eat candy anymore, but cookies. Somehow I'm a sucker for cookies. Um, but the good news is that I'm not like so like starved for sugar that I eat all the sugar of whatever it is that I have. I mean, I can eat a little bit at this point and not feel like I need to eat like way more than I need to. But it's kind of crazy how like my body is like not like again, I think it's just metabolically. My metabolism doesn't like it doesn't work like it normally should. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks to get through this thing where I've got this stiffness and like what I feel like is it's just swelling in my muscles and my biceps and in all my large muscles I feel like it's swelling. And I'm hoping that this is the nerves healing, which it could possibly be because it's been quite some time now that I haven't really eaten a whole lot of sugar, a whole lot of carbs. And I've been eating a lot of burgers. I ate burgers quite a bit for a while. Now I'm eating a lot of the turkey burger, which is obviously very low carb and much healthier than some of the other stuff that I've eaten. I'm just trying to sprinkle in a lot less of the sugar and the carbs. But I'll report back in the next, 10 days or so on how that's going, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be going better now that I've gotten that peanut butter out of my system. I don't know what the heck was up with that peanut butter. It wasn't like that much sugar. It could have been the seed oils. I mean, I don't really know what would have made that so inflammatory to me. But it was definitely inflammatory. It got to the point where it wasn't like where when I was eating all that sodium and salt. It wasn't like that then. It was just it felt different. But getting that peanut butter out of my life is definitely making me feel a little bit better. It's starting to feel like I'm getting closure on this thing with how my muscles are feeling. It's been very strange feeling. If any of you guys have anything to say about that or any thoughts, I would appreciate it below because it's definitely been an issue, but I don't know exactly what it is or what it could be, or I'm just open to thoughts because sometimes these thoughts, like, they might not be right. They very well could be right, and I'm open to look it up and try to figure it out. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not insulin resistant because I do realize that I think that would make me gain weight, not lose weight. But I think that what I'm feeling is the longer term diabetes effect. Even though, again, I don't think I have diabetes now. I think that if I was to get an A1C now, I wouldn't. I might be in the diabetic level depending on what I've eaten, but I don't think I would register with diabetes right now. I think that for me, it's just been the longer term metabolic issues of eating like a unwatched 9-year-old for 20 years, 25 years. And the alcohol and the other stuff that I've brought into my system over many years. So I'm going to just start calling it metabolism because I'm pretty sure what I'm experiencing is my metabolic, 50 plus metabolic issues. But I mean, of course, I'm not totally positive. It could be something else. But I feel like this is a good thing for me to focus on and and it gives me focus, and just makes it so that me managing and watching my diet makes more sense, and maybe it just makes more sense. But yeah, I'm not going to say that I'm insulin resistant anymore because I don't think I am. And I don't know that insulin resistance even caused my issues. It might not have been. I think that everything that I've read, Edge, right, insulin resistance, I'd be gaining weight. I would have gained a lot of weight, um, which I did not. And it just has to be metabolic. And I'm hoping it's type 2 diabetes because I can turn that around. I'm just hoping now I need to get tested to see if it's type 1 diabetes, because that's a little bit more urgent, and that's like something that I need to kind of figure out. So again, if any of you guys have thoughts on this or have any knowledge that I might be interested in knowing, do me a favor, leave it below. Boink, 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 boink. Leave me a comment. I do. I respond to all comments. So any thoughts, I would love to hear it, and I will let you know what I think, or I'll research the information and see if it makes any sense to me. So yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm doing well, and I'm hoping to get to the other side of this thing where my muscles feel like they just feel like there's inflammation in my muscles, and and they feel swollen, which is a really strange feeling. And I'm trying to work out through it. So I'm, again, like I said, I'm eating healthy. I'm eating mostly turkey burger, very low saturated fat, and I'm exercising some. I'm doing push-ups and trying to just get around my house a little bit easier. Yeah, so that's it. Other than that, I hope everybody had a great week. Hope you had a great weekend, and hope you have a great next week. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.